Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another video. Welcome to Wingman Wisdom. Today is part 2 of a 4-part series that we're doing on used RV values. A link to part 1 is down below if you'd like to click on it and get caught up. We're exploring an unusual situation. What can explain the incredible rise in the value of used RVs? Is it simply what J.D. Power says, or is there more to the story? My guest is an expert in the RV industry. He was on the RV Dealer Advisory Board for J.D. Power for decades. He says he began smelling something very fishy about 15 years ago. But that was 2008. We're talking 2022. What? I mean,
right.
the economy has rebounded until recently, and everything has gone up. And so you've been on the Dealer Advisory Board. Your antenna started going up in 2007, 8. And then what happened?
What happened was 2 parts. First of all, I started relying on exclusively the data that we collected as to what the RVs were worth. We sell everything at auction, our used goods, I mean, on eBay. And that gives that, okay, the way that humans have determined what stuff works since time immemorial is an auction. But I would check the book occasionally and see what it wants. And lenders would always say, you have to have a book value that supports the loan that you want to make. Why would we? Never mind. But that's what they did. And I couldn't figure out a way where Cheyenne Camping Center could be on the hook because the people that were being harmed weren't going to sue us. But there's the rise of the big chain dealers. And the big chain dealers, particularly a company called Camping World, became interested in selling used ones more than new ones. And I'm getting ahead of myself. But here we are with, about 6 years ago, NADA sold out to J.D. Power. And the values that they published for the value of RVs became completely unhinged from the experience that we had from our eBay auctions. And they were going up very, very fast. And who benefits from those rising values? Well, frankly, it's dealers. And how did the dealer use it? He says, oh, no, Mr. Customer, you're getting a hell of a bargain. This trailer's worth $25,000, and we're selling it to you for $22,000.
Yes, see in the book?
We're $25,000 in this book. But I was auctioning the same thing off, and it was fetching 15. So what was it worth, or less? So we just continued doing our thing, and I didn't give it any more thought. I just started thinking about how we could be harmed. And I'm reading the Camping World. Camping World is carrying twice as much on their books in the value of their used RVs. And are they carrying that used value based on what? On the NADA. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Now, remember, I explained I didn't think the insurance companies were ever going to sue anybody, and the banks aren't ever going to sue anybody. But suppose that one of the publicly traded RV companies like Camping World entered bankruptcy, there could be class action shareholder suits. And they would want to know who convinced them to invest in this stock when the value of the company wasn't anything like what they were reporting in their financials.
So that would implicate J.D. Power now instead of NADA, J.D. Power, but also the Dealer Advisory Board.
Oh, thank you. This is what I started to worry about. And that's what I'm telling everybody. If you're on that damn Dealer Advisory Board, and a number of the people that are on that Dealer Advisory Board are not companies that are still in business, which that's another weird thing. But if you're on there, resign. Do it with a registered letter. Get it done. Because suppose that thought experiment, Camping World enters into bankruptcy. The people that own their shares that collapse to nothing in value, because in bankruptcy, public companies usually survive and come out on the other end, but the shareholders are wiped out. And the shareholders form a class action and they say, well, who did this to us? Well, when every retail organization, every retail company that goes broke in my lifetime, when they declare bankruptcy, you discover that the inventories were grossly overstated in a number of different ways. This would be just one of the ways to overstate the value. And you would say, oh, who's the accounting firm that sanctified these reports and said to the investors, they're safe, you can believe everything we're saying? Well, that's J.D. Power. And not J.D. Power, that's Deloitte Touche. And Deloitte Touche is the certified accountant for Camping World. And suppose that Deloitte Touche then said, oh no, this isn't our fault that we overstated the value of those assets. we relied upon the third-party expertise of
J.D. Power.
J.D. Power and their advisory board of noted dealers from across the country. I said to my brother Michael, it's got to go out registered. It's got to go out this week. We got to get off this damn list. I'm not going to be held accountable for something that we knew was dirty going way, way, way back.
So hang on. This was, you contacted them about this. You said last year and nothing happened.
Mike tried to resign verbally, then by email, and nobody ever responded.
So you had to send a registered letter. In fact, I've got a copy of the registered letter here. We're going to go ahead and put it up on the screen. This was back in January, saying it represents our second attempt to resign from your recreational vehicle dealer advisory board, blah, blah, blah. But this makes it official. And then lo and behold, you're not on it. But I have to tell you something about that advisory board. I, at random, opened up the J.D. Power book, the one from the first quarter of this year, first 4 months. And I picked 12 dealers at random and contacted all 12 of them, made phone calls, introduced myself. I'm trying to do a report, get some information. Can you help me out on what you do with J.D. Power as a member of the advisory board? Of 12 people that I contacted, Kevin Frazer, one goes, oh, yeah, we do that. The other ones either didn't know anything about it, or they said, I don't think we do that anymore. They just didn't. And I don't think 11 out of 12 are going to scam me. I don't think. Maybe a couple of them just wanted to blow me off. But only one goes, oh, yeah, that's what we do. And so my antennas, my BS detector was really going off at that point.
Well, the J.D. Power people have told my brother Michael that the dealer advisory board is not the only source of their evaluations, that they rely heavily on auctions. But we don't have auctions in the RV industry like they do in the car business, where millions of units are auctioned every year. Most of the stuff that goes through auctions on the RV side are distressed goods, repossessions from banks, and units that have been totaled losses through insurance companies. So you're not talking about merchandise that's even ready for sale. So it would have no meaningful relationship to the actual value of it in sellable condition RV. So I don't know where they're getting their stuff. If you read the disclaimer that is in the front of their book, it's all just
it's corporate gobbledygook. It's corporate gobbledygook.
It's a release. It's not our fault. We it's not our fault. Yeah.
So, but Kevin, let's fast forward to today, to 2022. And we see the values again, as in 2007 and 8. The bubble is popping, if it's not popped already.
Yeah, and the values of used RVs started down in April.
And so it's going down, yet people owe, if the real market value is 20%, 30% less than J.D. Power claims it is, most of these people are mortgaged, leveraged. They borrowed the money into that gap, and they're buried. Maybe permanently.
I mean, it's worse than 20 or 30%. I get offered trades all the time. I had one this week. The guy's owned it for 2 weeks. It's worth 10. He's got a note for 20. The dealer told him, see, the book says it's worth 18. And he paid over that.
Are you beginning to see the value of used RVs just a little bit differently? Do you think that maybe, just maybe, the consumer is being played? Drop your comments below if you would. I'll have part 3 of this 4-part series tomorrow. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you soon.